Hi guys, I am so glad you clicked on my video. I'm going to show you how I created this look. If you would like to see how I did it and all of the details, keep on watching. So my face is already moisturized and I've already done my eyebrows, and the next thing I'm going to do is apply my primer. Now I'm applying the P.Louise base on my eyelids, and this is going to be the primer for my eyeshadow. I'm making sure that I evenly blend out that base, that primer, so that my eyeshadow would apply evenly and it wouldn't be patchy. For this look, I'm using the Juvia's Place Nomad palette, and the first shade I'm dipping into is this burnt orange shade, and I'm going to place this just below my brow bone and sort of in my crease area. Now I'm applying the olive green in my crease and I'm going to blend that inwards. Now I'm applying the darker green shade to the outer half of my eyelid. During the blending process, you sometimes lose the intensity of some of the colors, so I'm just going to go over each color to brighten it up and to intensify the look. Now I'm applying this pretty yellow shade on the inner part of my eyelid. So now moving on to foundation, I am going to be using the Nars Sheer Glow foundation, and this is in the shade Marquises. I usually switch up between a brush and a beauty sponge to apply my foundation, but today I'm trying something a little different. I'm using this Real Techniques Insta Pop face brush, and then I'm also using a stippling brush to evenly blend out my foundation. I want to make sure that I get the areas alongside my nose, above my eyebrows, all the areas that the brush may be too big to fit. Once my foundation is evenly blended out, I'm gonna go in now with concealer, and I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and this is in the shade Maple. I'm applying it under my eyes to disguise the darkness under my eyes, as well as to highlight my face. So with this next step, I don't often do because I am not that great at it yet. I'm still learning, I am no pro, but I'm using the foundation stick from Juvia's Place, and this is in the shade Katsina, and I'm doing this to contour my face. So it's, I think, my second time using a contour stick, but I'm still practicing. But I wanted to show you guys that even as a beginner, you can still, you know, try different techniques, try new things, and just keep practicing, and eventually you'll get it. To blend out the contour, I'm using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and then to blend out my concealer, I'm using a Morphe brush. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I'll make sure that I list all of the brushes and also all of the products that I used in the description box. So another tip that I have started doing, because I have seen all of the makeup artists and the YouTube gurus doing, I have been leaving my concealer to dry down a bit. So you can use a fan, you could just sit a couple minutes, wait for your concealer to dry down, and then blend it out. So I'm using the same brush that I used to apply my foundation to go between where my concealer stops and where my contour starts, and I'm doing this so that it would just blend in evenly, so there won't be any harsh lines. You won't be seeing a line on my face where my foundation and contour starts and stops. It's just gonna blend in evenly. Now I want to set under my eye. So I have lines. Yes, I'm getting old, I have lines. Either way, we all get lines under our eyes. So before I set my under eye, I use my damp beauty sponge and I make sure I tap under my eyes to blend the concealer out evenly, and then I quickly go in with my setting powder to set under my eyes.
Nope.
I know these faces I make to set my under eye are super crazy and a bit creepy, but I do this so that I can get the areas under my eyes and make sure that all the powder gets where I need it to go, so that I wouldn't have my concealer shifting, or I wouldn't have too much lines or cracks or creases. So I do this because it helps me. Also, the powder that I'm using to set on my under eye is the Mercier translucent pressed powder. Next, I'm going to blend out the concealer that I placed on my nose, and to do this I usually pinch my beauty sponge and just blend it out, and it just helps your nose to look more defined, to give you that snatch look. And then I'm gonna set my nose with the same powder, the Mercier translucent powder. I'm also going to reverse contour slightly by putting some of that same translucent powder just below my cheek, that hollow of my cheek. Now, to set my entire face and to blend everything in, I'm using the Sephora Microsmooth powder, and this shade is Ebony. I'm also using that same powder to contour my nose. For my under eye, I'm going back in with the same colors that I use on my lid. So first I'm going to use the dark shade, which was the dark green, to line my waterline, and then I'm going to use the rusty orange shade just below that. I'm now going to place this shimmery metallic shade on the inner corners of my eyes. Now I know I didn't really need it, but I wanted to add some bronzer. And this particular bronzer, I recently got this and I have seen what everyone is talking about. This bronzer just melts into your skin. It gives you that, like it says, that airbrush finish. I just love it. And this is in the shade, it's the darkest shade, shade number 4. Next for blush, I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm dipping into that sort of peachy shade as well as the pink shade, and just applying this lightly on my cheeks. I'm now lining my waterline with this eyeliner from MAC, and it's called Blooz. I've been looking for this on the MAC site and I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's discontinued, but I really love this eyeliner. I've had it for a while. I hope that I'm making a mistake, and I really hope that they still have it. On my lips, I'm applying the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Cocoa Connoisseur, and then I'm going to set my face with a Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Now I'm applying highlight, a little bit of highlight at the tip of my nose because I just love how this looks. But I'm also going to apply highlight on my cheekbones. So guys, this is the finished look. I put my little wig on that I got from Amazon and my hat also from Amazon, and I am ready to go sit in my living room and watch movies. I hope you guys like this look, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe.